Terry Phillips on the pole in the 75 out of Springfield, Missouri, and Tanner Barnhart. What a run he had in his heat race earlier on for Tanner. He will start outside row number 1 out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. He is a 4-time winner already this season. Last year's champion, Ryan Middall. He was a 2-time track champion. He won it here at Lucas Oil Speedway as well as Callaway. He will start inside row number 2, and Gabe Hodges from Lebo, Kansas on his outside. Chris Kratzer will start inside row number 3, and Peyton Phillips, he's looking to make it 2 victories in a row as he won his last outing. He's going to try to back it up tonight with another win. Brandon Givens and Joe Duvall will be back in row number 4. Tad Davis and Nick Binniger out of Perry, Kansas starts in row 5. It's T. Wolf, Fayetteville, Arkansas is Tyler Wolf in the 4W to start 11th with Dakota Dale in the 12th starting spot. He pilots the 37D out of Valley Center, Kansas. Gunnar Martin, he was kind of a smoke show in the first heat race he had. A lot of smoke coming out from underneath the bottom side of the 75M out of Sugar Creek, Missouri. Dan Powers out of Wichita, Kansas will start in 14th. Jacob Hopscheit from Plattsmouth, Nebraska in the 01 will start in 15th. And Fairgrove's Mickey the Squirrel Burl in the 73 to start outside row number 8. Jason Persley, the superintendent from over at Skyline High School in the 38C, starting inside row number 9. Tyler Davis, his outside. Tanner Mullins and Tanner Black back in row number 10. Wyatt Gajero and Henry Chambers. Then your provisionals, Darren Fuquay and Chad Wheeler. Didn't have the best of runs through the Bs, but they have enough points already as Darren Fuquay is your current point leader. Chad Wheeler sits in 5th. And then the track provisional goes to Robbie Reed out of Mexico in the 25th starting spot. He pilots the number 5.
Great field there that you just went over, Shane, as we're going to get set for our pre-race activities before we get ready to go. $2,000 on the line running 30 laps coming up here in just a matter of moments. The racetrack looks good, and the field is formed up. All of it's coming down to this.
Lucas Oil Speedway fans, the Heartland Modified Tour, first year of existence. They have made their way to the Diamond of Dirt tracks, Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. We started with 50, 2 B features, a couple of provisionals. Robbie Reed, the track provisional, makes our field of 25. The 4-wide salute to you, the fans, here at Lucas Oil Speedway. They're showing you a lot of love. Why don't you give it right back to them? Make some noise, wave your hands in the air. Let the Heartland Modified Tour know you love them here at Lucas Oil Speedway. They break that 4-wide formation, the Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace truck, through turns 3 and 4, get them all slowed down. And once they decide to turn the lights off, they'll all go under the control of TP, the legend from Springfield, Missouri, Terry Phillips. Made his name, his dad made his name in racing circles around the Midwest, down in Springfield, Kansas City, and now, after a couple years here at Lucas Oil Speedway that haven't been the best in the biggest shows for Terry Phillips, he has still proven he is one of the top contenders in the modified ranks all across the Midwest, and tonight might be his night to shine, T-Bear. He comes into Wheatland at Lucas Oil Speedway, had the best pull he could on that redraw, and the field will be under his control as we get the one to go.
TP's been really strong in his bloodline race cars here, year 2, competing in the cars that he builds right there at his race shop in town. And he certainly stands to factor in this one before it's all said and done here tonight. Had a good heat race earlier on tonight and set him up for the redraw, which obviously went his way as well. So TP rolling pretty good right now.
Anybody can tell you it's fun to start out front. You got everybody back behind you, but in this series, anybody on that track will also make you fully aware that being up front may not be the prime spot because you've got 24 cars behind you ready to hunt you down, and Terry Phillips leads them to the green here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks.
Great initial start there for Terry Phillips, and Gabe Hodges right on his tail. There was a roll down the back straightaway here into turns 3 and 4. Midall runs third, Barnhart fourth here. The opening lap will go to the 75 of Phillips.
Boy, Gabe Hodges did every single thing he could to get to the inside of Terry Phillips, and he also did every single thing he could to not make contact. And now the Midwest Sheet Metal caution will come out. I think it came out for Wyatt Guerrero in turn 4, but we had 4 cars all get knotted up in turn number 2. Listening to race control, and this could be extremely important for all the cars you see right here. It depends on when the caution came out and for who. Wyatt Guerrero had stopped over in turn number 4, and the leaders were bearing down on him. That's when all of this happened over in turn 2.
That's weird that it happens at almost the identical time. That's the hard situation they're working through right now. Here's the FK Ride-ins instant replay, Shane, of the incident, I'm assuming, over in turn 2. Yes, it is. And Tad Davis just around right there, nowhere to go for Wolf Martin and Jacob Hobscheit. So those 3 had nowhere to go as a 75 went around.
So 4 cars get stopped in turn 2. One of which has headed back to the pit. I didn't catch who that was that is now down the ramp.
Taking a look right there, that was the 75 of Gunnar Martin that was there and is at the hot pit right now. So it looks like the crew coming to his attention and see if they can get him back out. There is a little bit of time here in the work area for A-Main competitors. Jacob
Hotshide was in that as well. Tyler Wolf had stopped on the track, and
so Guerrero's at the back and Tad Davis is at the back. So the rare simultaneous caution.
We're going to find out really quick.
Yeah.
They continue to work on Gun. Look like the left rear maybe. They're changing that tire there. At least that's looking through the fence and through the Big Adventure RV and My Race Pass sign, as well as an ATV that's on the other side of the fence. Looks as though they're changing the left rear.
I love My Race Pass. I love Big Adventure RV. 2 great ones to put on the screen.
Yep.
I tell you, those boys at MRP, they have revolutionized the sport. We're getting to work with them on a whole different level this year with the administration of this series. And they just, man, those guys just continue to impress me all the time. So Gunnar Martin, a folded up quarter panel there on the left side for sure. I'd say there's probably damage there to the spoiler. Spoiler side looks to be crushed up, smashed up in there as well on the left side. So we're going to let the field go by. Lights are out, and they will wave Gunnar Martin on as the field rolls by.
Gunnar Martin's back out, and he's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit to catch up with the tail end of the field as Terry Phillips will wait for no one. Through the Pitts Realty restart zone underway, and Gunnar Martin is not up to speed at all. He's going to stop over in turn number 3, and the Midwest Sheet Metal caution will have to come out again for Gunnar Martin.
Gunnar probably just thinking he was going to be able to restart that race under speed.
Yeah, kind of a bizarre way for Gunnar Martin to get back out on the track. I can hear race control here in the booth, and I think they made it pretty clear to everybody through the race receivers that we were going green that time around. So the caution is brought out for Gunnar Martin. And now the lights turned off again. Green flag in the hand of Mike Striegel.
Interesting right there. You don't see that scenario.
No, you don't.
A whole lot.
You know, usually they'll come flying out of the pit and be at full song whenever the green comes out.
Nonetheless, it'll be Phillips' race to start right here with Hodges on the second spot. We'll see what he's got for TP on this restart. He really gave him a lot the last time we went green.
Through the Pitts Realty restart zone, green is in the air, and Terry Phillips punches it right down to the bottom of the track again. Hodges had to lift, and that's going to give Terry Phillips a lot of breathing room, and it's going to open the door for Ryan Middaugh. Button Buck, the track champ here at Lucas Oil Speedway, rim riding around the 7G of Gabe Hodges as they are door handle to door handle in turns 1 and 2. Terry Phillips loses a little bit of ground. Hodges eats that bottom side of the track up, reels him in, and now side by side, Tyler Wolf works to the inside of Peyton Phillips.
Wolf and Phillips, a really good battle right there as Peyton Phillips up to the outside of the 21 of Ryan Middaugh. That 127 car has all kinds of speed. He's going to roll outside the 21, look to roll the outside of Ford. Wolf in the 4W as the Midwest Sheet Metal caution flies again, this time for the 73 of Mickey Burrell over in turn 4. So the third Midwest Sheet Metal caution flies over in turn number 4. The 73 of Mickey Burrell from Fairgrove, Missouri, draws the caution.
The squirrel got squirrely. He had a top 10 finish a couple of weeks ago back on April 20th. He's currently 9th in the point standings here. Best finish he's had this year was a 4th at Monette, and you see some damage on the front of Mickey Burrell. Not sure what happened to him, but he's going to have to get that taken care of because that is flapping sheet metal. He might stop on the top side of 2. He might go right into the pits, but at least for the time being, he stays out on the track.
These starts like this are tough. We're just trying to get a little bit of momentum established in the race and figure out who's good. Boy, I think Peyton Phillips is like super fast out here tonight. And I'll be interested to see if we knock a few laps down what he's got for the guys up front.
And how about a guy that whenever he went to the redraw, he was P1 before the redraw. Tough break as he goes from 1st to 6th.
Yeah.
But he's made a couple of those spots up already. I like the way Ryan Middaugh looked.
Sure.
But he lost a little something there on that last lap as Tyler Wolf and Peyton Phillips were both starting to eat him up.
Wolf's got a little damage there, too, on the A-post on the driver's side, as you can see right there. So that thing's flapping in the wind. We'll see. Nonetheless, this one shaping up to be a barn burner. It at least has barn burner racers in this one if we can just get a little bit of momentum going here. Track pretty fast still throughout the course of the entire night.
Brand new racing surface here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Haven't talked about that with you guys yet, but They brought in all new clay. Kenny Carroll Excavating came in and did that prior to the season, and you can tell the racing surface is considerably different than what it had been over the last few years. It's all about adjustments, trying to figure out what type of setup is going to perform the best on this new surface, and right now Terry Phillips has it figured out. Every start, every restart, he has been able to get away from Gabe Hodges, Ryan Middaugh, and Tyler Wolf. He's out by 3 car lengths, and Peyton Phillips now is kind of mired up on the top side. He's going to have to try to split 2 cars, one of which is Ryan Middaugh. Not going to be able to get it done there.
So Middaugh and Givens run right there in front of the 127 of Peyton Phillips, and that race is for the 4th spot. And Middaugh will still have it. Here comes Phillips now rolling the outside of the 10B of Brandon Gibbons and the 4th Midwest Sheet Metal Caution. We got another parking lot over there in turn 4. Chad Wheeler, Gunnar Martin involved in that. Jason Persley, Darren Fuquay, and the final car, the 17 of Henry Chambers, the cars involved.
Has not been a day that Chad Wheeler and Darren Fuquay would like to remember here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
And what's crazy, though, about that, Shane? That is these two guys. These are two of these guys' favorite racetracks.
Darren Fuquay going the wrong way down a one-way street. He's like a salmon going upstream. Not sure if he wanted to say something to someone or what the case may be, but he will turn it around, and that right side has just been eaten up all day long. That happened in the heat race.
Well, that poor right side wonders what it did wrong. My goodness, that's a lot of right side damage there. The 17 of Henry Chambers still needing a push. We got another one stopped over there in turn 4 on the low side, and that is Gunnar Martin. So all kinds of things happening early in this one. That is Midwest Sheet Metal Caution number 4.
Well, we've gotten 5 down. Again, once they get some laps rattled off and get somewhat spread out, you got to think the virus that is the caution or the yellow plague will stop.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let everybody get a little bit of momentum, figure out what they've got. Shoot, these guys don't even really know. I doubt anybody up front really knows if they're even really good or not, right now at this point. They probably a few of them know they kind of like what they feel, but they haven't been able to log any sort of laps for any consistency.
Getting word from race control, we have been at this for almost 12 minutes, and we've only gotten 5 laps in. Normally, we'd go 2 wide, but race control says we're going to go single file for a while, see if we can get some laps rattled off. We might try 2 wide later on, but at least for now, we're going to go nose to tail.
You'll have that from time to time. Here we go. Single file restart. Phillips in the 75 out front. Gabe Hodges right there. Behind him, Wolf in 3rd, Midoff 4th, and Peyton Phillips 5th. The green is back out, and we're racing once again.
Well, let's see if the call from race control pays off. Going single file on the restart. Terry Phillips led the front end of the conga line through turns 1 and 2. They all go to the bottom through 3 and 4 with the exception of Peyton Phillips. He's the only one out of the top 10 that wants to push the cushion and find some momentum as he rides along in 5th right behind Ryan Middaugh.
Tyler Wolf and Ryan Middaugh. Pretty good action up front. Phillips still committed right up to the top side. Peyton Phillips in the 127. Should clarify myself, as a pair of Phillips are in the top 5. Gibbons right behind him. Then it's Dan Powers and Tanner Barnhart and Tanner Mullins. The drivers you're seeing on screen right there as Ryan Middaugh continues to roll in the 4th position with Phillips 5th. Gabe Hodges pushing the issue, but they're right on the bottom, right behind the 75 of Phillips. So it's Phillips, Hodges, and Wolf that time by at the line.
Gabe Hodges comes from a long line of race car drivers. There are a handful of Hodges brothers that all run. Gabe, the gas man, is one of them. He rides in 2nd right now, and he has given that 7-1 heck of a run here, but he's got a rear view mirror full of Tyler Wolf, and that's all while he tries to set the crosshairs on Terry Phillips. Top 3 cars all in your picture, spread out by only about a half a second between all of them.
Phillips circling the bottom. Hodges and Wolf still continue to follow suit. We mentioned earlier, for those of you that maybe just tuning in here a little bit late, that is not the same car that Gabe Hodges raced last night. He brought both race cars with him this weekend, ran his other car last night, and this one, which had been his backup car for most of the year, as Gunnar Martin is off the pace on the front straightaway. We'll see if the Midwest Sheet Metal Caution flies it, if he's able to get off. He is up out of the racing groove, so for the time being, we do stay green, but that for Gabe Hodges has been his 2nd car for the majority of the season, but he said it was time for him to break it out and get a few more shows on it here this season. The 19 of Chris Kratzer on the low side of turn 4 exits the speedway as well, so a few more cars off the racetrack. And a few laps ago, we did lose the 75 of Tad Davis with TP still out front, rolling the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Hodges and Wolf right behind him.
And to go back to the comment from earlier on about working your way up the ranks into this modified division, there's Gabe, there's Jake, and there's Andrew Hodges, and they've done pretty much exactly that. They start out at the bottom tier, running in a Midwest mod, up to a B mod, now to an A mod, and Gabe Hodges just learns as he goes, and now he is 0.6 of a second behind Terry Phillips. He's almost beside Terry Phillips with a lap car. Right in the middle of it is Chambers, is the middle of the sandwich, and Hodges just stays right with TP.
Boy, the bottom really, really good in both corners right now. Hodges forcing the issue with Terry Phillips, all kinds of traction. Good turn that time through for the 7G of Gabe Hodges. Phillips will extend on the corner exit. Hodges definitely drove it in a little bit deeper than the 75 did. No question about it, but TP still control the race. Wolf runs in third. So we'll see if anybody's able to jump up off that bottom here at some point. Boy, a lot of moisture right down there and a lot of speed they're able to carry right on the hub at this time.
And Terry Phillips is doing exactly what he needs to keep Hodges pinned down low enough. He's not completely slamming the door in the turns. He's leaving him just enough room to where he doesn't make any contact of any kind. There's still plenty of brown down there. It's not like he has to run any lower. He's got plenty of grip. He's just keeping Hodges at bay long enough, and you got to wonder at what point in time is Hodges going to take that extra step? At what point in time is he going to cross the line? Is he really going to dive bomb it in there and force Terry Phillips to have to make a decision, or is he going to try to change his line and do something different? Phillips left the door open for him this time. A little bit of a bobble from Hodges in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
Still Phillips out front, and Hodges, we're keeping our cameras glued on that. Hodges pushes the issue one more time. He got up to the door of TP with the front of his race car, but he will get no more. TP still well in control of this race, but Gabe Hodges not giving him any room to breathe right there. Wolf solidly in third, and then it's a little bit of distance back, fourth on back for TP, but the race is on up front just as it's been throughout the majority of this one. 20 laps in, so 10 to go as Hodges rolls now down into 3 and 4.
Boy, just with 10 laps left, it'll be 9 laps this time around. You just get that feeling that Hodges has enough in the tank to do something with Terry Phillips, and now he will break formation. Terry Phillips was not going to give him any room on the bottom side. You got to do something different. And Gabe Hodges out of his comfort zone right now. He's making the uncomfortable really comfortable in turns 3 and 4.
Boy, he's not losing any ground, though. He did hook a little bit of a rut right there in turn 1 and did lose a little ground to Tyler Wolf as Wolf slid by. But he will get rolling back again. So now Wolf and Gabe Hodges there. Hodges back to the second spot. But prior to the last time in turn 1, he was able to navigate the upper parts of the speedway with relative ease.
Boy, does this give you a little deja vu from last night with 3 cars in the closing laps, all with a chance to win. It's just 3 completely different cars.
Oh, yeah, just 3 totally different ones. Tyler Wolf was good last night. He cut a tire down and ultimately had to go change it and took him out of contention, factoring in the win, but he was incredibly fast last night, too, so his result not indicative of the speed that he carried, and not surprised to see him right here tonight.
5 laps to go this time by, completing 25. You wonder if Gabe Hodges lifted off just a little bit to cool his tires down and make one last-ditch run. There is still plenty of lap traffic up ahead of Terry Phillips. The next one to go down 1 lap would be Chad Wheeler, and he was one of those cars in the top 3 last night. Oh, what a difference a day makes. He's about ready to go a lap down to TP.
Phillips and Hodges and Wolf still kind of doing what they've been doing throughout the majority of the night thus far. Hodges pushing the issue again here in the waning stages of this one. We'll see if Gabe thinks anything better about circling the bottom of the racetrack here, and if he's got a shot, he will. Gabe Hodges will enter up high once again there in turn 1 and 2. Leave the door open for the 4W of Tyler Wolf, and Phillips will extend his lead exiting 2.
Terry Phillips now by 4 car lengths over Gabe Hodges. They'll get the 2 sticks in the air. 2 more times around. Mike Striegel gives them the indication in the flag stand. We're closing down. Chad Wheeler again would be the next car to go a lap down. A little bit of a tire bump over in turn number 2. Through the rut he goes, and Tyler Wolf out of the groove, and now Gabe Hodges is on the march with 1 to go. He looked to the outside. Right back in the tire tracks he will go. Chad Wheeler, the lapped car, stays to the bottom. A run by Hodges to the outside, off of 2. Will he dive bomb to the inside? No, he stays to the outside. Terry Phillips has to lift just a little bit off of turn 4. Terry Phillips is able to hang on. 1 car length behind is Hodges. Another car length behind is Tyler Wolf. And Terry Phillips is able to hang on and take home the $2,000 here at Lucas Oil Speedway, the first race here for the Heartland Modified Tour.